Curious about what's coming up this week for you? Well, come on and join me and let's find out. Hello, Stacy the Blackfeather Intuitive. Welcome to another weekly oracle reading for the week of January 24th. And hoping everybody is doing really well and that you are faring the winter. I know winter is not ever my fave because it's just too cold and too wet and too snowy and too damp and just too ick. But it is part of the four seasons, it's a part of our lives, and it's an important part of our lives. And I find that I'm actually quite productive in the winter seasons, yeah, I guess seasons as well, because that's where, I don't want to be outside. I don't want to leave the comfort of, my warm, fireplace and, furnace home and all of that kind of stuff, the creature comforts. But I hope that you're all safe and doing well. So this week we are reading and pulling cards from the Tarot of Dreams, Ciro Marchetti, and I always love this deck. And so this week, Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is all about new thought, potential in the realm of the mind, potential in the realm of, I want to say, the air energy, where we're at with our intuition, what we're receiving, how we are receiving it, potential with communication and starting new communications, starting a new way to communicate with one another. And I feel like this week the message is really about focusing on how you can take a breath, take a pause before you have a conversation with someone, before you speak a response. If somebody is asking you a question, there are a lot of us who actually do take that pause and consider our words before we speak. But there are a lot of us who are just very, I want to say, reactionary, or are very quick thinking, quick-minded, and you ask a question, I give you an answer. I know this is kind of like me. I think really fast, I talk really fast. It just sort of shows up for me. And I have found that in my, in my short little life, that I have been communicating with others, that sometimes there is a lot of benefit in just taking a pause and allowing the initial inspiration of what is to come to fill the space of that pause. Because when we are more reactionary with our words, we think afterwards, oh, I could have said this, or I could have said that, or I wasn't thinking about this, and I wasn't thinking about that. And now, I've already said yes to this, or I've already said no, when actually it could be something else. This doesn't say, I'm not implying that if you're receiving direct guidance and the direct guidance says, yes, I need to say yes to this, that's wrong. I'm not negating that. Always go with your intuition. This is very intuitional and saying, okay, something is coming through. What this is saying is give yourself a moment before you respond to receive the full message, to feel into what it is that you're about to say. Does that actually feel accurate? Does that feel like it is complementary to how you are feeling inside? I can't tell you how many times somebody has said something to me and I've said yes right away, being all in, and 2 seconds later I'm kind of feeling a little weird about it, or saying, I really wish that I had given myself a little more time to feel into that, because now I'm kind of regretting it. Or now I'm in a situation where I'm going to have to say no to somebody. I'm going to have to go back on my word, or I'm going to have to say, I'm really sorry. I said yes before, but now I need to sort of change my plans. So I feel like this card this week is giving each of us a heads up and not a warning, just an opportunity to be able to say, before I respond to anything, I just want to take a couple of seconds to feel into it, to allow the idea to fully, I want to say, sort of fully enter into the air realm, the space of the mind and how we're receiving it, so that you can really, I want to say, sink into it. And this is separate from the ego voice. When we get an inspiration, it's awesome. The ego voice often, pops up right away and says, oh, you can't do that. And no, that's not possible. And, how would that even happen? And, we can't do all those things. That's not what I'm talking about. We don't want to create space for that. We want to create space for you get the spark, the idea of something, and someone asks you a question and you receive this spark and you go, ooh, that has potential. Let me think on it for a minute before I respond. The thinking and giving yourself that little bit of extra space allows the thought to fully form. It allows you to, again, feel into it. Does it feel right? Does it feel like, okay, initially I thought yes, but now I'm thinking, we might have to go about it a different way. So each of us this week, I'm hearing, is going to have several opportunities to be in the pause, to give ourselves the opportunity to really absorb the information that we're receiving before we are going to respond to it. And it's important for each of us to take that time. I'm also hearing, for those of you with some career concerns, career issues, wanting to, I want to say, advance or elevate, or wanting to get the hell out of Dodge and go somewhere else. I'm feeling like this card is indicating that there are going to be some new, fresh opportunities coming your way. That again, you want to be open to them, but you don't want to jump into it instantly. You want to give yourself a little bit of time to evaluate, okay, is this actually really going to be the best choice for me? Yes, I want a promotion, but do I really want all the things that particular promotion is going to give me? I want a new job, but do I want to am I so desperate to get out of this that I'm going to take anything? Or do I want to really give myself the time and the space to think about what's coming through and to kind of feel into that? Does that feel like it's going to get me where I want to be? Or am I just jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire? So those of you who are considering some career shifts and changes, this is a card to say, give yourself a little bit of time and space to really to think into and feel into what is coming your way. Okay, so our oracle pull this week is coming from Stephen D. Farmer's Earth Magic. Yes, Earth Magic oracle cards. Oh, and this one is standing out. All right, are you ready for this? Drum roll, please. Tsunami, wake up call. So what I'm hearing with this is on I want to say on a national scale, this week there is going to be some kind of truth revealed. There's going to be some kind of announcement made or some kind of event that occurs that is literally a wake-up call for each and every one of us to say, are we really going down the right path? Is this really what I want to be contributing to the world at large or to my country? How do I want to move forward? How do I want to feel that I am contributing in this way? This is not to say we all need to be divisive about it, or we need to negate another person's opinion because it's their opinion and it doesn't match ours. This is more about, it's going to be a wake-up call. It's going to affect all of us, kind of like COVID in 2020. It affected each and every one of us. There was not a person on this planet who was not affected by some level of quarantine. That's what this feels like as well. It's a wake-up call to be able to say, okay, what did you learn from that? Now we've got another round of something. I'm not saying it's COVID. It actually feels more, I'm going to say, secular than that, but it is going to be a wake-up call for everyone and in the nation. And you are going to have the opportunity to say, yes, this is how I want to contribute. No, I don't want to contribute in this way. I'd rather do it in this way over here. And the wake-up call on a personal level, I feel, is really about giving yourself the opportunity to not bury your head in the sand about things. And I know I can get this way sometimes. I go on a news hiatus because it's just too much. It's too overwhelming. I get so sad. I can't function. I get frustrated. I get mad. I get worked up. And it doesn't serve me any good. It doesn't serve anyone around me any good, right? It serves only to lower my vibration. I feel like this week it's about recognizing that, yeah, there are some pretty big things that are happening. There are some decisions that need to be made, and each individual can make those decisions based on what they're feeling at the time. But there needs to be an awareness of it. And when we're talking about a tsunami, this is a water event. Water is the realm of emotion. Water is also the realm of the psychic. So I really feel like this is going to stir up a lot of emotion. This is going to stir up a lot of feeling within you. And a tsunami is a big fat wave that takes over all sorts of things. You don't have to allow this wave to take you over. This is the heads up. This is the wake up call to say, just be prepared for what is coming so that you can be on higher ground. You don't have to dive in deep to the bottom of the ocean while this is happening. You can go to higher ground. And I feel like that is the message. Go to higher ground. Be in a higher vibration. See things from a higher perspective rather than from the physical and the 3D. This isn't to say that we're going to bypass the problems or situations or the event that's coming. It simply means I can approach this from a different perspective. I get to choose how I wish to show up. There's new potential, there's new thought and new inspiration that is coming through. How can I use that new inspiration to be able to navigate this and to bring out the highest and best outcome for everyone involved, including myself? How can I be creative in allowing this in to affect this in a positive way, making lemonade out of lemons? I'm curious about what this announcement is going to be. All right, let's pull a feather from the feather jar. Ooh, a beautiful pink one. Embrace your desire. So this is a separate message from the cards I feel today. I feel like our dream teams are all basically saying, the archangels especially are coming through, and they're saying, now is the time to embrace what it is that you really seek. What is it that you want to feel? Do you want to feel pleasure? Do you want to feel joy? Do you want to feel happiness? Do you want to feel success? Whatever it is that you are desiring to feel in this moment right now, act on it. Embrace it. Find a way to bring it into your now. Sometimes we think about things very linearly or very much, kind of like through the eye of the telescope or thinking inside a box. If you want to go on a trip so desperately and you don't have the money, for example, to go on a trip, or you don't have the time to schedule that trip, or where you wanted to go still isn't, kind of open yet, how can you explore that area in a different way? Maybe you read a novel about it. A fictional story that takes place in that area so that you can, sort of see the landscapes and kind of prepare yourself for the time when you are able to go. Perhaps you watch a documentary or you watch a travel show episode on that particular event and start to write down areas that you'd like to see and things like that you would like to experience when you do go. There are so many ways to be able to embrace the desire, even if it's not an experience that's literally right in front of you where you can reach out and touch it in this moment. There are ways to bring it to you. And the dream team is coming through. The angels especially this week are coming through to say, find ways to embrace your desires now. Don't say, oh, in 6 months I'm going to go and do this. Yeah, that might be the case. I can't do it now. I'll be able to do it in the future. Find ways to be able to bring some of that energy of doing it in the now. Be creative, think outside the box. This is self-love and self-care. And this is also going to help to keep your energy elevated, right? Looking at things from a higher perspective, a higher spiritual perspective, and being able to navigate the stormy waters so that you're not taken under, that you're above, you're rising above. Embrace those desires. All right, folks, that's our reading for the week. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, if you like what you see here, click that bell on my YouTube. Also, I would love to connect with you through social media. I have my Facebook page and my Insta, The Black Feather Intuitive, always putting out different quotes, empowerment quotes, and food for thought out there. Would love to interact with you in that way. Also this week, we have just a short little bit of time left for my year in preview service if you want to get ahead, sort of a head start and a sneak peek into what is coming for you in the year of 2022. Please come and join me. Sign up for the service. There are just a handful of spots left to be able to do this service. And what I do is I pull a card for every single month, and I tune into each month and tell you what is coming through for you in that month. I've been doing this service for 5 years now. It's wildly popular. Everybody really loves it, and I love doing it. So would love to connect with you in that way. Otherwise, have the most amazing week, guys. Take care, be safe, and we will see you next time. Ciao.